Alright, we begin our topic 3 with the title Managing Information Systems Project. So saya harap suara saya agak jelas lah untuk recording dan kamu dengar. So we begin with the title, so Managing IS Project. So in this topic 3 and topic 4 quite related. Cuma yang managing information system ni dia akan bagi tahu konsep lah how we manage information system. Tapi kamu akan ada satu lagi course yang berkaitan dengan IT project management nanti kan, which is ISP550. I think kamu akan ambil masa part 5 tak silap saya. Alright, so itu akan bagi tahu detail lah dari segi project management aspect. So cuma dalam topik 3 ni untuk khusus kita pengenalan lah, kita consider pengenalan pada project management. Project management. It could be system development, information system development. So basically this is a first concept introduction to project management. So we're going to look at our first learning objectives. First, we're going to explain the process of managing an information system, IS project lah. So basically, some terms they said as software project, some terms they said IS project. So relatively it's interchangeable. Regardless, cuma mungkin the nature of development tu bergantung kepada konteks, whether it's built in-house, whether it's outsourced, sebelum ni. Cuma kita kena bayangkan as if we are the team developer, that we're going to develop a system, information systems to be specific. It could be software, it could be information system. The terms is relatively interchangeable in the practical world. Including, so the phases include, and these are the fasa-fasa there, the phases include project initiation, project planning, project execution, and project close down. Okay. The second objective is describe how represent and schedule project plans using Gantt chart. And network diagrams. Most of the time you're going to use Gantt chart. Have you heard about Gantt chart before? In previous subject or other subject?
Rasanya masa ambil subjek ISP550 nanti baru belajar Gantt chart.
Alright, masa detail nanti masa belajar kod ISP550 So sekarang ni kita mula exposure lah on the term Gantt chart, which is you're gonna use it, you're gonna apply it in the future. And network diagrams kita cuma brief introduction je lah. Most of the time kita tak buat network diagram, tapi some dalam industry some company does use network diagram. More often than not, dia orang tak berapa guna sangatlah network diagram. Tapi kita kena tahulah. Maybe in the future, they're going to use it. Okay? Some company going to use it. So, no harm of knowing. And then, third objective, explain how commercial project management software packages, yang ni dia dah start masuk. Project management software packages can be used to assist in representing and managing project schedules. IS project, software packages project, it similarly follows the phases, the phases here. Similarly follow the phases here as well. Alright, we begin with our introduction. So we're going to learn on the concept of project management. Project management ni luas It could be applied in any other domains. Ataupun it could be another name for it. It apply mana-mana yang kita panggil sebagai project based activity, project based, mana-mana yang berdasarkan project. It could be system development, it could be anything else. So basically, project management is the application of the knowledge. So we have to have knowledge, the skill, the tool, the techniques to project activities to meet project requirements. And then the other project goal. Project goal. So the second, arguably the most important aspect in information system development project, in any project-based activities, planning, project management, part of it is planning, is project management is important, it's crucial. How we manage the project determines the successful or the failure of the project. So effective project management helps to ensure that system development projects, number one, meet the customer expectation. That is our goal. And probably we can, to the extent, do ataupun offer beyond standard expectation. Meet customer expectation. Number two, are completed on time and within budget. So dua benda ni is what we call as effective project management. Meet customer expectation within time and budget. Since we have a lot of software solutions available or can be purchased or licensed, this project management, a lot of the book references focus a lot on implementations of packaged software ataupun software solutions such as ERP. Alright, so why do we need to develop systems? We are the people, mostly you in the future, when you join the industry later on, you are going to be the part of the team member, a development team, a team member of a development team to develop information systems. Alright, so why do we need to develop them? Or what are the characteristics that we must know in develop the system? Number one, first, we must know the problems that involves either real or anticipated that required corrective actions. So we have to identify where is the problems and what are the problems, reasons of the problems, what are the consequences of the problems, and we need to overcome the problems by doing the corrective action. Number two, opportunities. Opportunities, basically the solution. The solutions where we want to improve a situation despite the absence of complaint. So we want to improve the situation regardless of any complaint. Directives ni the directions, the directions that we're gonna implement the solution for in opportunity study. So directives to change a situation, regardless of whether anyone has complained about the current situations or not. Basically, we want to improvise or find a solution to a problems to become more effective of the systems, to make sure that the system become more effective. Sebab kalau sistem tu tak efektif, ada bottleneck, ada delay dalam proses prosedur kerja, then it will bear us some inaccuracy, unprofessional, banyak masalah in the long run. It would cost us more kalau kita nak buat correction in the future. Ini just pengenalan dulu So The next kita tengoklah kenapa some project success, some project fails. So kalau some project success, dia akan jadi success story lah kan, dan dia akan di benchmark untuk future reference. But some projects are also can be fail, termasuk juga information system punya project. Ada yang berjaya, ada yang delay, ada juga yang tak berjaya. Delay tapi siap, tapi kalaupun lambat siapnya, maka dia ada kos tambahan yang kos tambahan itulah yang kita nak elakkan. Sebab kita project base ni mesti berdasarkan pada kontrak. So kita terikat pada kontrak perkhidmatan antara kita dengan klien. Tapi banyak juga project fail. So apakah faktor dia? So faktor dia terbahagi pada 4 pillars ataupun 4 segmentation here. 1 people, 2 proses. Teknologi ni tak ada dalam significant order. People, process, technology, organization. So the reasons yang related from people that could contribute to the project failures, bila mana kita tak dapat support ni, lack of support from top management, kita tak involvekan user dalam proses pembangunan sistem, ataupun kita tak lengkap proses pengambilan information ataupun requirement daripada klien. So that is ineffective user involvement. Lack of skills, pemahaman kita dari segi how to collect, the procedure how to collect the right way, the techniques, the information gathering process, kita tak ada skill tu lack of experience. So these are the factors contributing from the people. Proses pula, poor defined goal and objectives. Kita tak jelas apa tujuan utama kita nak buatkan sistem tu. So it could be a biggest factor. Poor planning. Planning yang poor pun salah estimate budget, salah estimate manpower, salah estimate timeline pun boleh jadi factor. Poor planning, a lack of controls, tak ada pemantauan, tak ada check and balance. So it's tak mengikut jadual, tak follow the planning. Poorly defined requirements tu is banyak effect juga dekat ineffective user involvement ni tadi kan. So banyaklah faktor dia. So you can tengok kat sini termasuklah poor execution. Not just poor planning, poor execution. So it's definitely contribute to project failure. Teknologi pula, kita menggunakan teknologi yang dah lapuk, obsolete, unproven, it is not being used and tested before, ataupun yang tak sesuai, incompatible. So technology wise mesti juga kena ada orang yang experience untuk melihat kesesuaiannya dengan konteks. The next one is organization, lack of direction. Organisation kita tak ada stable punya management leadership, for example. Changing priorities. Kita ni contohnya lah selalunya IT software house ni dia ada emphasization dia. Dia ada general, dia ada emphasization dia. Emphasization dia mungkin dia pakar dalam membina sistem yang berkaitan dengan perkapalan contohnya. Tapi lepas tu dia nak terus ambil projek yang tak berkaitan dengan perkapalan, dia pergi ambil education punya. So probably lack of context in that sense, for example. Lack of funding. Of course, project based mesti banyak berkaitan dengan funding. Competition for funding. Nak win the project is not easy. Organizational politics, bureaucracy, and so on and so forth. And poor management, poor change management. Kita tak kata change management dengan baik. Next, so dalam managing project informations, dia ada personnel, kita panggil personnel. Personnel yang kita panggil sebagai project manager. So the term project manager ni could be a system analyst. System analyst ni is a position, is a position dalam IT industry, with some experience. The first 2 years, 3 years tu you tak boleh terus jump ke system analyst. After once you dah completed a project, then you probably promoted and to that position, then you can say yourself you're a system analyst. System analyst with a diverse sets of skill. So dia kena ada skills yang related to managing the project. Satu skill dia management wise, management, leadership dan technical as well. So dia kena engage dan dia kena tahu technical side of the system development, including programming, including coding. And then they're also able to manage conflict and able to have a good communication sense with, and that's what we call it, customer relationship. Communication sense dia kena bagus. It's not just verbally, also written. So both verbal and non-verbal punya skill. So he or she, the project manager, is responsible for initiating, planning, executing, and closing down the process. So these are the life cycles of a project management. So the term project is defined by planned undertaking of related activities to reach an objective that has begin and end. So dia ada permulaan, dia ada akhir, dan setiap tu dia ada defined activity, a defined activity that is related from one another, but the nature of it could be overlapping or which is parallel, or sequence, right, to reach an objective. So that is project. So basically this is a generic term to a project, a generic term, project. So these are the kemahiran the kemahiran seorang yang kita panggil sebagai project manager. Dia kena managing people, dia kena tahu methodologies and tools what to use, time and resource constraint, documentation, communication, dia kena review document, dia kena buat verify the document, dia kena verify the steps, dia kena buat decision making, and so on and so forth. So these are what we call as the art of project management. Itu masuklah customer and management expectation, technological change, so dia kena up to date, dia kena differentiate the methodologies that available, dia kena faham lah. So the vast skill of project manager is highly related dengan success or failure of a project. But this is a teamwork job. Kalau dia dapat team yang bagus, how difficult pun macam mana project tu, they're able to pull it off. So dia just a front man to lead the team. Alright. Dia kena pandai handle birokrasi, kena able to negotiate and so on and so forth. So ini ada penerangan dia lah, penerangan dia. Leadership, dia kena able to influence people, through the use of intelligence, personality and ability. So personality ni pun personality ni apa yang menjadikan seseorang tu boleh lead, apa skill set dia. Dia mesti orang yang ada vision, orang yang boleh memberi arahan, and so on so forth. Okay. So ini ada different skill. So management, so nanti you bacalah tadi saya pun dah briefly say about it as well. Okay. Management, defining the sequence, defining and sequencing activities, macam mana nak susun aktiviti, mana datang dulu, mana important, mana related, mana support, mana primary, mana core kita panggil. And then communicating expectation, assigning resource to activity and monitoring, banyak faktor di sini Conflict management, problem solving, smoothing out personal differences, it's including negotiating, team management, communication within and between team members, peer evaluations, and so on and so forth. Alright, baru kita masuk bahagian project management. Tadi just what we call it introductions or overview of the chapter. Alright, so project definition. These are the terms lah. Kita panggil terms yang buku ni refer. Definition dia banyak lah sebenarnya. So project management is a controlled process. So the keyword dia kat situ control process. So ni fasa-fasa dia. Initiating, planning, executing and closing down a project. So that is the generic definitions of project management. So the phases involved are initiating, planning, executing and closing down of a project. So this is the life cycle lah. The initiating, planning, executing and closing. That is project life cycle or project phases. So kita tengok the first phase tu, fasa pertama tu iaitu initiating the project. What is project initiation? Project initiation is the first phase of the project management process in which activities are performed to assess the size, the scope and complexity of the project and to establish procedures to support later project activities. So that is project initiation. Okay. So dia akan melihat and evaluate lah. That is to assess how big the system is, how detailed the system is going to be, what are the scope that they have to focus, how complex it's going to be, who's involved. So they're gonna identify and evaluate that. So dalam project initiation kita ada lagi 6 activities. In this phase fasa pertama ni we have another 6 activities. First we have to have a team. We have to establish a proper team. Sebab any project based activity is considered in our industry, we consider a formal team, a formal form of a team project. The involvement tu mesti di-establish sebab dia ada peruntukan jam, waktu lah, jam and contribution that they have to make for the project. Kalau satu orang involve terlalu banyak project, you cannot engage with the project and then expectation of contribution pun mungkin menjadi kurang. So you have to establish the project initiation team because they're going to contribute on the team and the project, and then establishing a relationship with the customer, establishing the relationship with the client of the project. The clients, or call it the customer. Establishing the project initiation plan. So they have to start gather up in a meeting form or workshop form to draw or to list down the plan. And this must be done at the early stage. Establishing management procedures for the plans. What are the procedures that come along with the plan? Gerak kerja dia macam mana? The job description, the descriptions of the activity macam mana. Okay. Establishing, number 5, establishing the project management environment and workbook. Project management environment pun penting juga sebab it's the spirit of the project. When we have some establishing team, definitely you want to have some sort of representations of the team. So that is included in this environment. And project workbook. And then number 6, finally, developing the project charter. So we start doing the groundwork lah. So what is project charter ni? Is more or less somewhat like the documents we see kat sini. A document, it could be some sort of a document has one of the contract that would be the contract that would be used for the project. Okay, so kita tengok kat sini, yang ni mungkin pecah-pecah dia punya gambar tapi nanti saya bagi textbooks dia, e-book, nanti kamu rujuk lah. A project charter is a living document for an improvement team that outlines the presenting problems of the target and the boundaries of the process improvement effort. So basically, it's a document that describes the requirements and the purpose and also the scope of the process. So what are the items in the project charter? Basically, we have problem statement, we have business case, we have goal statement, purpose, goal statement, timeline, scope, and team members and the role that they play. So problem statement, basically they capture the problem in the form of a measurement. The business case ni, the business reason for doing the project. So this is why, describing the why the project is developed. Goal statement is describing the target of the process management. Process management. Bukan management, measurement, sorry. The targets of the process measurement. Timeline, describing when each project phase will be completed. Scope, define what's in and what's out of the project. The team member, the people who will participate in the project. So that is the initiating the project. So the project charter ni could be some sort of a document for proposal, document for contract. So describing the reason, the scope, and the goal of the project. So the next phase we have planning the project. So what is planning project? Tadi kita ada terms project management. Now kita dah masuk fasa kedua ni, project planning. So the project planning is basically the second phase of the project management, that focus on defining clear and discrete activities and the work needed to complete each activity within a single project. So that is project planning. So dalam project planning, kita ada work breakdown structure ataupun WBS, work breakdown structure. Work breakdown structure is a process of dividing the project into manageable tasks and logically ordering them to ensure a smooth evaluation between tasks. So work breakdown structure ni is important activity dalam project planning ni, fasa project planning ni, sebab kita nak dividing it into manageable tasks and we don't want to miss any task, any possible task yang kita miss tu kita nak elakkan. We must identify all the important tasks, manage them and audit them. Susunkan dia. Okay. Dan Gantt chart is basically the visualizations of the graphical representations of a project that shows each task as horizontal bar whose length is proportional to its time for completion. So Gantt chart ni macam jadual lah. Jadual yang kita guna, yang dalam jadual tu ada list of activity dan juga a bar, horizontal bar that represent the timeline of a task that you have ordered, yang you have dah susun masa work breakdown structure. So work breakdown structure is an activity. Gantt chart is actually the outcome, hasil, dalam bentuk jadual lah, graphical representation. Alright, so dalam project planning ni kita ada 10 activities. Tadi kita ada 6 activities for project initiation. Now we have 10 activities. So the first one, describing the project scope, alternatives and feasibility. Feasibilities ni feasible boleh buat ke tidak, buat, I'm not sure in translating, but feasible, can we do it, we have enough resource in manpower, do we have enough equipment or enough tools to support with the project, feasible, do we have the support from our boss, big boss, so that's feasible. Number 2, dividing the project into manageable tasks. WBS tadi a work breakdown structure. We must break it down supaya we have more clearer view without missing any important activities. We must line it up. The activities kena line up. Line it up supaya we don't miss any important activities. Number 3, estimating resources and creating a resource plan. Resources including manpower, budget, time, facilities, and so on and so forth. All right. Number 4, developing a preliminary schedules. Preliminary schedules is also important. This part nanti kau baca lah dalam buku, dia ada detail dia lagi. Number 5, developing a communication plan. Communication plan ni termasuklah bila nak jumpa customer or client, bila nak present dengan diorang, bila nak buat workshop dengan diorang. So developing a communication plan, determining project standards and procedures, identifying and assessing risk. Ini pun penting, sangat-sangat penting. Kalau mana-mana proposal sekarang ni, kalau kita hantar, dia mesti kena identify risk, supaya ia bukanlah yang menjadi faktor kegagalan. Sekejap saya answer ni sekejap. Okay, kita continue. Jadi sampai mana ya? Determining project standard, assessing risk, apply risk. Number 8, creating a preliminary budget. Number 9, developing a project scope statement. Scope sampai mana? So scope ni penting dengan perkaitannya dengan work breakdown structure tadi tu ya. And then setting a baseline project plan. Baru set up the baseline project plan. So that is fasa kedua dan aktiviti dia. Ini contoh Gantt chart. This is what kita refer sebagai Gantt chart. Dan kita guna Microsoft Project sebagai software untuk kita buat Gantt chart ni. Buat Gantt chart ni. So dekat sini ada a list of tasks. Ini kita break down all the tasks, important tasks. So for example, here interview is one activity. In order to interview, you have another task. You have 3 tasks. Design interview form, schedule appointment, conduct interviews. So these are the tasks for interview activity. Review activity, review current reports is second activity. Inside the second activity, review, you have 3 tasks. Collect reports, review reports, summarize report. All of these tasks ada estimations of days. Ada estimations of days on how long you want to spend the task for. This is list of the activities and tasks, and this is the bar, what we call it timeline bar. Then this refer to the activity and how many days it involves. This is second activity. This is task. and its relation from one task to another. Okay. So this is, kalau kita ada, I think kalau ada peluang mungkin masa masuk makmal nanti, kalau kita makmal tu, kita tengok makmal kita macam mana lah kalau ada peluang kita boleh tengok gunakan chat ni. Alright. So kita continue. Ada soalan tak setakat ni?
Tak ada.
Alright, thank you. Kita sambung. Ni antara questions yang related dalam salah satu task, salah satu aktiviti dalam fasa 2 ni, project planning activity ni, which is developing a communication plans. These are the question that we must clear than written in the plan. Written in the plan. So they have to identify who are the stakeholder for the project. Siapa stakeholder dia? Siapa yang berpengaruh? Siapa and user dia? Siapa orang yang involved? What information does its stakeholder needs? Apa requirement from each of these stakeholders? When does the information need to be produced? Apa tujuan dia, function dia? Bila mana dia akan kita provide hasil yang kita perlu tunjuk pada stakeholders. And what sources will be used to gather this information? Apa sources dia? Documentation, job description documentation, business process documentation, SOP, scheme of procedure, for example. Who will collect, store and verify the accuracy of the information? Siapa yang akan buat pengesahan, menyusun dan mengumpul information? Who will organize and package this information into a document? So these are very important. Sebab apa? We must get the right person, the right information to make sure that it's going to be a success project. What format will be used to package the information? Is there any standard that we're going to use for the formatting? So sebab apa? To show some consistency and in the future it can be used or it can be reused again. Dalam project management selalu kita banyak reused artifact, reused coding and so on and so forth. What medium or what communication medium should be used, or what types of mediums that we're going to use? Are we going to use all the time face-to-face meeting, or we have some mixture hybrid lah face-to-face and online meeting? Bila kita nak buat brainstorm together and so on and so forth. How we're going to do the brainstorm, for example. So this is how we develop communication plan. Sebab kita nak implement kan, so we must have some clear mind on how to execute it. So the third phase is executing the project. The third phase. Project execution is the third phase of the project management process, in which the plans created in the prior phase, dua fasa sebelum ni, project initiation and planning, are put into action. So when we have dah ada layout, dah ada Gantt chart, yang mana we have layout all of the activities and tasks, and also the the role of the team member. So it's time to get the project started, execute. In this activity, kita ada 5 activity. This fasa, this phase, we have 5 activities which involves, number 1, executing the baseline project plan. Baseline tadi, masa planning kita dah develop a baseline project plan. Now we are going to execute it based on the baseline. So that's why baseline project plan. So that's why masa proses nak develop ni, we have to be very detailed supaya all information are sufficient and clear untuk execution. Kita tak nak patah balik banyak kali kan. Kalau tak, nanti it will delay the process. Number 2, monitoring project progress. against the baseline project plan. So mesti kena ada some sort of control element. So control and checking whether we are in progress or not. Okay, kalau tak in progress, then yes, problem. Okay. Number 3, managing changes to the baseline project plan. So dalam project management ni, dalam project based, mana-mana project based activity mesti ada perubahan, termasuk requirement, termasuk sebab banyak faktor-faktor yang faktor-faktor luaran yang menjadi yang probably influence the project outcome kan. So kena able to manage changes. So kita nak minor kan, kita nak kecil kan perubahan, nak elak perubahan besar. So that's why we have to have identify the risk tadi tu ya. Number 4, maintaining project workbook. So project workbook ni penting untuk future reference and reuse. Number 5, communicating the project status. So project, kita kena keep update lah klien kita, customer kita, apa progress kita. Kena update kita punya management team juga apa progress kita. Sebab dia pun akan monitor kita punya performance while executing the project. So communicating the project status also keeping the project in check. Project status. Kalau tak nanti, it also can be salah satu faktor untuk project failure. So this is what we call what we call it project life cycle, PLC. Yang ni basically the SDLC, sebab kita bangunkan information system. So kita bangunkan information system. Dekat mana SDLC yang kita pilih tu relates dengan project life cycle. Okay, tadi kita ada plan project, initiate project, plan project, execute and close. Okay. So bagaimana it relates? So tadi kita initiate the project, plan the project, execute the project kan. So dekat sini is where the SDLC relates. Okay. So ini perkaitan the relation between PLC dengan SDLC. So SDLC dia banyak di project execution. So dekat sini ada lagi planning. Okay. So planning yang ini pun ada relate juga dengan project plan sebenarnya. Sebab kita dah ada work breakdown structure tadi tu kan. WBS tu tadi. So dia mesti somehow mirrored. Supaya execution tu is actually focus lah. Focus. So this is where SDLC relates dengan PLC. Alright, now this is the last phase. The last phase. Kalau ikutkan selepas fasa close ni, kita panggil sebagai evaluate the project. Ataupun kita buat some sort of kalau setengah orang kata postmortem lah. Maksudnya kita melihat balik how well kita execute the project. So kita ada evaluate the project. Tapi dia tak termasuk lah sebagai the core. The core. Lepas kita close project, definitely we have to do some sort of evaluate project. So tapi yang ni yang empat fasa ni yang paling penting lah. Project close down. Setiap project mesti ada begin and end. Kan? So project close down is basically the final phase of the project management process, which focuses on bringing a project to an end. Setiap project mesti ada dia punya close down. Kalau tak, memang failure lah. So ada 3 je aktiviti dekat sini, iaitu closing down the project, conducting post-project reviews, closing the customer contract. Tadi kita ada document, living document basically is part of the contract. So now we have to close the contract. So we look at the first activity. Ni tak ada penangan dia. Alright. So yang ini So okay, habis on bahagian fasa project phases, project initiation, project planning, project execution, and project close down. Next, untuk buat Gantt chart, kita masuk subtopik yang ketiga ni lah using project management software. So macam mana nak buat, macam mana nak pakai project management software. Kebanyakan project management software ni sebenarnya ada license dia. Kalau Microsoft Project pun, I think we do have the license, tapi tengok keadaan kita punya classroom macam mana, lab macam mana Alright, so yang paling common ialah Microsoft Project lah, dan dia ada beberapa lagi sebenarnya. So many powerful software tools exist for assisting project management. So Microsoft Project is an example that can be used to establish a project starting or ending date, enter task and assign task relationship, select the schedule methods to review project reports. So ini antara yang Microsoft Project boleh buat lah. So ini adalah Gantt chart. So Gantt chart, dalam Gantt chart ni kita ada, we do have the setting the setting that we can define lah. Kita boleh set dia lah. Contohnya kita nak start from which month, which is most commonly for IT development project usually takes about 18 to 24 months. 18 to 24 months. It could be up until 3 years juga. 3 years. So relatively dalam 2 tahun lah. So dalam 2 tahun ni you boleh view kan lah. You can start, you can set the date. You can set the first date and the end date. Okay. Kita tengoklah kalau ada peluang nanti So entering task and assigning task relationship in Microsoft Project. Nanti kita masukkanlah dekat sini. Yang ni type je, dia boleh type and automatically dia akan appear the bar dekat sini. Dia akan the task bar dekat sini. Okay, so dia akan ada arrow sekiranya ada dia punya define relationship dekat sini. So dia automatically dia akan ada arrow kat sini follow. Hopefully kita ada peluang tengok nantilah. Ini secara pengenalan saja baru. This is what we call sebagai network diagram in Microsoft Project. Kalau yang ini dia dalam bentuk list kan, a list of task, activity and task, dan ada timeline dia, what we call it. I call it timeline because dalam timeline ni dia ada tarikh dan dia ada this bar ni functional horizontal bar. So dalam network diagram pula dia ada extra information yang kita boleh set, kita boleh nampak lah dan dia juga follow apa yang kita dah set pada Gantt chart tadi. Dia auto lah ada yang kita boleh auto kan. So dia basically melihat perkaitan antara ni bagus kalau kita nak checking progress of the executions of the project. Okay. So tapi saya tak terang lebih lah nanti kalau nak tahu bacalah dalam teks. Alright, so yang ini pula a Gantt chart showing progress of activity, the right frame versus plan activity. Ni progress dan ni ada dalam ni ada bar pula lagi ni. Ada lagi ni. Ini pun boleh juga kita guna tapi ini more visualize. So these are the tools yang kita guna untuk assist kita buat project management. Okay. So last, the summary. So basically in this chapter you learn the project management life cycles and including its definition. And then we learn a little bit on the Gantt chart and the network chart. And these spaces are common used in any what we call software or information system development. particularly in assisting and representing project schedules. Right, so this is schedules ni lah. So this is the schedules. Alright. Basically that is the end of chapter the topic 3, yeah, which is managing information system, managing information system projects. Is there any question? Not yet.
Tak ada, madam.
Alright, okay. So I end the recording,